بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to your Tajweed Made Easy. We're on lesson 20, page 23. The lesson title is Ikhfaa. Ikhfaa, which means to hide. Okay. One word of warning after today, Inshaa-Allah. Well, after this lesson, Inshaa-Allah, your whole Quran is going to change. Because there is that many ikhfa inside the Quran. If you're not doing it already, it's going to make a very big change to your Quran recitation, okay? Whereas before you were saying antum and kuntum and loads of different things, you, subhanallah, will be saying, well, anyway, I'll go into it now, inshallah, okay? At the top it says, memorize this. If after Noon Sakin or Tanween you see any of the following 15 letters make a light nasal sound and lengthen for a second, remember to hide the N sound from the Noon Sakin and Tanween. So just to recap, Noon Sakin and Tanween, as you know, they make like an N sound. So if, for example, antum, okay? Or if you have a Tanween, nafsin, or khamsatun, or adhaban, they all have a N sound. Now the Ikhfa is going to hide that N sound, okay? Okay, if after Noon Sakin or Tanween you see ta, tha, jim, dal, dhal, za, sin, shin, sad, dad, ta, dha, fa, qaf, kaf. 15 letters. Any of these 15 letters, you have to make a light nasal sound while hiding the N sound that's coming from the Noon Sakin or the Tanween, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go through these examples. Please listen carefully, inshallah. For all of the 15, I've put an example, okay? So for example, the ta example, tha example, jim example, all the 15 letters I've put example underneath. Okay? Some are with Noon Sakin, some are with Tanween, just to get you acquainted with it, okay, inshallah. Okay, first one, you would have read antum, but now Noon Sakin is there, one of the 15 letters is after it, the ta. So we have to make a light nasal sound while hiding the N sound from the an, okay? So it's going to be, instead of an, it's going to be antum. So we're stretching it for a second as well. So it's antum. Antum became antum. Antum. Right. Just a quick exercise. When you say noon, say the letter noon. Noon. You'll see that the tongue goes up towards the hard palate at 45 degrees. Noon. Noon. Okay? Now, to get the ikhfa right, I suggest, instead of hitting the palate with your tongue, just keep the tongue a little, don't let it hit the palate, your tongue. So you'll say antum, your tongue will hit the palate. When you say antum, your tongue will be just in the air. It will try to reach the palate to say the n sound, but just keep it a little bit back. Don't let it touch the palate, okay? So antum, antum, that. And the other one was antum, antum, where your tongue is touching the palate. I need to be very clear in explaining this, okay? That's why I'm taking time on this. So antum is with the tongue touching the palate. That's what we need to remove. Antum, light nasal sound, lengthen it for a second. Antum. Next one, you would have read laylatan thumma. Now I want you to read laylatan thumma. Laylatan. There's the ikhfa, okay? Next one, min ju'in. Min ju'in. Next one, an da'utukum. An da'utukum. Right. Here's another Tanween example. You would have read nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Okay? Nafsin. It's nafsin dha'iqatu. Next one. وَمَن زُحْزِحَ. وَمَن زُحْزِحَ. Next one. خَمْسَةٌ سَادِسُهُمْ. خَمْسَةٌ سَادِسُهُمْ. Next one. عذابا شديدا رجال صدقوا قوة ضعفا من طين ظلا ظنينا حسنة فمن الله ومن قتل فإن كان. Right. Remember, whenever in the Quran noon, sakin and tanween come, right, because we've done the 4 rules, I'm going to add on to Ikhfaa a little bit, but because we've done all the 4 rules for noon, sakin and tanween, whenever you come across noon, sakin or tanween in the Quran, it's going to fit into one of these 4 rules, okay? So whenever you see a noon, sakin, you have to stop there and think, alright, is it a ba? Or is it one of the 15 letters of Ikhfaa? Is it 6 letters of the throat? Do you understand? Like this. Or is it the 6 letters of idgham, 4 with ghunna and 2 without ghunna? Which letter is it? And in accordance, whichever letter comes after the noon, sakin and tanween, you have to do what's been taught to you, okay? You either make a nasal sound for a second, or you make a light nasal sound for a second, hiding the noon, or you bring the lips together and don't let them meet. All these things, or you read clearly from idhar. So whenever you see a noon, sakin or tanween in the Quran, stop and have a look which subhanallah rule it is from the 4 eyes, okay? Is it going to be idhar? Is it going to be iqlab? Is it going to be idgham? Is it going to be ikhfa? Okay, inshallah. So it's very important that you realize that after noon, sakin and tanween in the Quran, there's definitely going to be a rule. Now at the beginning, I suggest you start to mark the Quran in pencil. Mark every noon, sakin and tanween and write underneath there whichever rule it is. So if it's idhar, put IZ, IQ for iqlab, ID for idgham, and IK for ikhfa. Okay? And that way, inshallah, you'll get used to noon, sakin and tanween. After a bit, inshallah, you'll stop marking and your recitation will be awesome, inshallah. Okay? The last thing, there's a note at the bottom of this lesson. It says the easiest way to remember these 15 letters is to use the sections on each finger. That way the full hand equals 15 sections and we have 15 letters. What I mean by that, if you start from the small finger, you say ta, tha, jim on that finger. Next one, dal, dhal, za. The next one, sin, shin, sad. Next one, dad, ta, dha. And the thumb, you can do the fa, qaf and kaf. So 15 sections, you got 15 letters. Inshallah, it should be easy for you to memorize these. So all you have to say at the end of this is, if after noon, sakin or tanween you see any of the 15 letters, ta, tha, jim, dal, dhal, za, sin, shin, sad, dad, ta, dha, fa, qaf, kaf, make a light nasal sound and lengthen for 1 second. Okay? And please remember, you have to hide the N sound coming from the noon, sakin and tanween. This rule, you have to take a lot of time, guys. It's not today you lesson 20 and tomorrow 21. Take time on this lesson. A week, 2 weeks maybe, and get used to it. Jazakallahu khairan for your time and patience. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.